Hi, welcome to LearnX Academy. Today we're going to talk about interview skills. So, what are some skills that you need in order to conduct a good interview? What is an interview actually? It's a good meeting between you and a potential employer to get to know a little bit about you and how you could possibly fit into the company. So in this such a scenario, it's important that you practice. Okay? Interviewing is a two-way street, and the reason why we say that is because it's an exchange. Questions, answers. It should be kind of a good discussion, and there should be a combination of open and closed questions in the interview section. It's important that you maintain your confidence. That's where practice comes in. The more you practice, the more confident you're going to feel. Many types of interviews are there. Oftentimes employers will prefer to do a one-on-one interview. There your communication skills are really important. That you focus on what are some of the main points about you related to your career, your experience, your education. How do you communicate that effectively? If you're having a little bit of difficulty in communicating yourself, that is not going to set a very good impression on your employer. So from that standpoint, it's really good to practice role play scenarios, get with a partner or a mentor to help you. You can do a mock interview and run through a series of questions that you may be asked in an interview. That'll help you improve your confidence. Always before attending an interview, it's good that you know a little bit about the company, have a little bit of background, so that you can build rapport. This is the first step for you getting into the business world and thinking about your business communication skills. So if you can have a little bit of a short chit chat to kind of get both of you at ease, so that you kind of break the ice, so to speak. It's good to know a little bit about the company, so that you can maybe start a short little 1 or 2 minute conversation, so that you're both kind of on the same ground, so to speak, and everybody's at ease. Because again, it's going to be a first meeting, first time introduction about yourself. You're going to be a little bit nervous. So if you know a little bit about the company, that may give you a little idea on what to speak, so that you can relate to the person who's interviewing you. Always important, that first impression, arriving on time, and setting that standard that you are prompt, you're conscious about time, understanding the overall work culture from a business standpoint. That greeting and introduction is always very important. Like I said, small talk is good. That's why it's important to go ahead and know a little bit about the company that you're interviewing with, so that you can have a little bit of a discussion. That'll also help you generate questions, because an employer will always ask you what are some questions that you have. You'll be able to at least give 1 or 2 questions. Body language is important. Not only from your body language is not the only thing that people will read into, of course, but it's important. So if your body language doesn't really match your tone or the things that you're saying, that means if you have a very negative posture, and you're kind of nervous and fidgeting and squirming around a lot, that kind of conveys that you're a little nervous. So again, that's why it's important to practice. Also, your communication style. How fluent are you when you're speaking? Are you confident? Do you smile? Do you use active listening skills? Active listening skills are really important in the business culture, to be able to not only be a good speaker, but also to be a good listener. All right, so some typical interview questions. Now, you don't want to limit yourself to only that. Anything can be asked. So it's good to have a practice run through with a mentor, run through with a tutor or a friend. Let them give you a little bit of feedback on how you can improve in your interview. Of course, there are always some inappropriate, unethical questions that should never be asked. How to respond assertively if you should ever encounter such a situation. Now, generally speaking, you're probably not going to, but it can happen. So assertive communication skills is also something that you should practice so that you can assert yourself in a polite way. Another thing that I will mention is your tone of voice. Often our intonation pattern may not fit the words that we're using. So then from that standpoint, it's important that you be mindful about your tone. Okay. Some strategies to improve your interview. Okay, be prepared to talk about yourself and your experiences. So again, practice this. Okay, understand the art of storytelling. All right, an interview is a formal conversation, so be careful of your rate of speech that you're not speaking too quickly. Okay, avoid unnecessary words, repetitive words. Always give yourself time to think before speaking. We have the tendency to speak too fast. Practice. Okay, pace yourself. Everyone needs time to think before they speak. It's important to remain calm and try to think about what you're saying and understand yourself well. It's obviously, of course, to be aware of what you're dressing. Important to dress for success. At the end of the interview session, it's good to always ask some good questions that show that you're listening, that you should have a little bit of intuition or knowledge about the company. Ask about things that the interviewer has already mentioned. That shows that you're a good listener. Now, you can also send an email about the interview to mention about the whole interview experience. All right, now remember the final outcome of the interview. Not every time are you going to get the job, of course. Sometimes you have to attend multiple interviews. So some final suggestions. Practice is important. Practice with the mentor. Practice somebody who's going to go and help you and give you good feedback. Practice with somebody who has good communication skills, who can help you with what's the best way to say this and from a professional standpoint, from a business communication standpoint. Practice with someone who can help you with active listening skills and how to be polite, thinking about your tone of voice and how fast you're speaking. Okay, if you want some more information about improving your business communication skills, starting from the interview, go ahead and visit us at learnxacademy.com or write to us at care@learnxacademy.com and join Skype, learnx.tech or learnx.academy. Thank you very much.